Hello, everyone. My name is Arian Hilkemer. I'm the program coordinator for the Bachelor of Art and Design. It looks like I have a cat that's going to hang out with me. I can't even tell you what the cat's name is, actually. Hey. Um, my role at Media Design School is to help with you guys, help students, as well as I'm a lecturer, so I teach a lot of the theory components. But I'm basically across the whole shooting match of the degree program, of the 3-year degree program in 3D animation and visual effects. So what does that mean? Our students come in and they end up learning how to make movies. So what better way of doing that? I could talk quite a while on this subject, obviously, but why don't I just let the student work speak for itself? So I've picked this brand new film that we've got. It's called The Line Between. It's actually not really meant to be shown yet, but I'm the boss, so it's up to me. This is one of the team productions that the students end up working on, and we'll learn a little bit more about that. However, this film, being so new, hasn't actually hit the film festivals, but I would expect this empty space here to be filled up with lots of beautiful laurels that they'll win in different competitions. More on that as we go through. But in the meantime, I'm going to play this film down. So this is I think it's about an 8 or 9 week component that the students end up doing writing, directing, animating, creating all of the content for. And this movie is called The Line Between. Can you hear that okay, Dan?
Yeah, perfect.
All right. So, a line between. Now, this film, I'm very, very happy to say that this is nothing reflective of how you'll end up at the end of your studies in the 3 years at media design school. In regards to lying on the brick ground, motionless, hopefully you'll go off and work on the in the industry and strive and become the best possible human beings you can be. So yeah, basically, quite a lot, right? Quite a lot going on there. Lots of rendering, lots of texturing, animation, modeling, lighting, a lot of things that go into that. So you may be sitting there as a person who doesn't know anything to do with this industry. I can tell you that every single one of those students have struggled and learnt from their struggles. The best way to grow is from scar tissue, right? And I've spent a lot of time with all these students, and I'm just it's so such a cool experience to watch people come in with not that much experience, a little bit of creativity. Obviously, you need your show reel and that. I'm the one who looks through the show reels, and what I really look for is that idea of creative intent. They're able to go through, learn what they need to do, skin their knees along the way, and really progress and do quite well. So yeah, line between. There's 6 other fantastic films that were created in this group as well. So really exciting. So I'm just going to start, like, this slide deck is 45 slides long. I'm happy to say that I'm just going to rip through some of this stuff because I really want to help you guys understand from my perspective why this place and space is cool. There are a few things that I would love to go through. I can't actually see the chat in the side, Dan, so if you can please interrupt and jump in. I'd love, with a smaller number of you guys, if I could tailor any questions that you might have as they come up, or whatever, please feel free to ask. This is such a safe, inclusive environment. In my opinion, there's no such thing as a dumb question, just a dumb answer. So media design school, this is us. We have average of 1,000 students. We're a private tertiary education institute, and we've been running for well over 25 years. We focus on digital design and education. This is architectural pre-visualization of the actual campus. I need to update this with a physical photo because we are here in Wynyard Quarter. And this area is just amazing. It's just really cool. Right next door is the innovation hub, where lots of innovations and cool creative techs made. So we're definitely in the right place. Now, the Bachelor of Art and Design is broken down into 3 years. You'll have the ability to learn all about art studies, bit of photography, CG fundamentals, modeling, and animation that way. We go through photorealistic CG. So why are the wheels dirty? Where are they worn? How is the wood chipped? Where is it likely to be kind of scuffed up? These are all parts of animation that you'll end up being able to kind of look at and recreate. And we've got animation, advanced animations where you can take a character and move it around like a puppet and create realistic animations. And then my personal favorite is compositing. So these are the different ways that you can kind of integrate CG elements into a live footage. And we use a software called Nuke through this. I feel one of media design school's super strong points, and this isn't me reading a script, this is genuinely what I think and feel. You only get genuine from me, Dan knows that. One of the great strong points that we have at media design school is that we are there for the industry, right? So we have the industry come in, they kind of give us feedback, we put that onto new tools, new technology, but we're bound in the synergy of education as well. So we're able to kind of go through, figure out the best ways to introduce new technologies, and move through that. We also do scripting. We do productions, and then also a bit of research as you go through. How it works is in the first year, you kind of do all your core studies. So you do your core 3D, where you learn a little bit about everything, a bit about 3D, a bit about modeling and texturing and lighting, a bit about compositing. We do a little bit of photography as well. In the second year, you kind of have some core products or core courses, and then you split off into your streams. So that's a generalist 3D stream, animation stream, and compositing. In the third year, you all come back together and work on those projects. So that second project that you just saw is the all the different groups combining together to create something special. So the main philosophy, how we work through this is project-based learning. So we learn by doing. Those of you guys and girls who don't like writing essays, don't worry. We've got most of the things you're after. However, there are a few essays you will need to do as you go through, but that's education at the moment, right? And we've got sequential focus learning. So instead of spread it out to be like Monday you have animation, Tuesday you have modeling, Thursday you have rendering. What we do is we focus and kind of teach you in a really kind of condensed way. Then you'll move on, use that knowledge, but build on it to the next topic. The way that it works, this has actually changed a little tiny bit now, but effectively you'll do a bit of trad art, photography, and animation, modeling, texturing, lighting, and compositing. You'll end up doing the mini project at the end, which is a kind of combination for everything, where we put it all together. Some of the things that you'll end up doing with myself and one of my colleagues is the theory class. We'll do film studies, look at classic narrative, film design principles. I guarantee you'll never be able to look at a movie again in the same way. And I'll ruin it all for you because the people around you will hate hanging out with you because all you'll do is analyze and discuss why a movie wasn't so good, right? Yeah, so a bit of theory as we go through, and then we also do trad art with traditional art classes where we have going out and doing a bit of still life stuff, but we also bring in industry, live models as well, and look at that to really make sure that we've got an idea and an understanding about shape, form, and line of action for the various different things. We do the fundamental modeling. So this is 4 weeks of modeling. We focus on topology, making sure that the efficiencies through the way that a model is created. You're thinking about things like not only why and how the structures are what they are, but also thinking about how you might be able to animate them one day. We also do the inorganic modeling, which is like I don't know, like this bottle is an inorganic model because it's got its hard surface. Organic model is my face. There we go. And then you work on a project creating that. You'll be introduced to ZBrush as well in this time. And yeah, we have a bit of fun with that one. Then you do 4 weeks of animation. The animation is really kind of learning how to get your key poses and animation that you're trying to convey a story and have that read in a model that doesn't have life and bring it to life. We do surfacing and lighting. This is texturing, shaders, lighting, and rendering with a 1-week project, and then compositing. At the very end, we bring everything together into the mini project. In the second year, you break off into your different streams. So you end up doing pre-production, video production, and scripting as a core subject. This is just really important. As you can see, you go off and learn a few things about movies and stuff. Then we'll go off and TD, technical direction, go off into rigging, advanced modeling, advanced lighting. And then off to a production. Animation is similar, learning bits about animation, and then compositing is all about grabbing different elements, putting them together, and making them look like they belong. So in the second year, we really like pull you back together, get through the pre-production, learn how to hands-on film make, thinking about the shots. What's great is we do a lot of coupling up of what you're learning in theory with what you're learning in practice, so which is really cool. And then 2 weeks of Python scripting, so you come in and do Maya and Nuke. And then at the end, so we go through modeling, sculpting, surfacing, lighting, and rendering, and that's all making sure that all of that works. At the very end, you work on a still life project when you take a photo, and then you render it to make it look real. So I have a question for you. If you can just chuck it in the chat for me. What is real and what is fake in this photo? What is the real photo and what is the 3D render? Chuck it in the chat. And again, oh no, I can pull up the chat. That's cool. What is real and what one is a render is the question. You can just say, so let's just say this is the left one, this is the right one. Right side, so this one's the real photo. Here we go. That one's the render on the right side. Unless you're looking at it that way, then you're right. And this is the real photo. Okay, we'll do another one. Which one is the real photo and which one is the fake photo? Or the rendered photo? What do you think? Usually what you can do is you can tell on the highlights, like the specular highlights on these things. I think this one, I can't remember. I think this one's not the photo. What do you think? Guess the right side again. Oh, it's a render. Oh, look at that. Yeah, so you can see actually through the lensing, the way that the depth of field's working. Also, the highlight is kind of a bit uniform through here where it's got quite a bit more breakup through there, but this one's quite a good one. We'll do this one. So I'm calling this, as I'm looking at it, left and right side. probably the other way around, but I'm in charge, so there you go. What do you think? Real left. Cool. There we go. Again, these photos aren't too bad, these ones, which is cool. But usually you'll find some form of a telltale sign that'll help you. All right, so then we go and so in the first year, at the end of the first year, you'll choose what stream you're going to go into, right? So some people choose TD, technical direction. Some people choose animation. Animation is all about kind of bringing things together. We've got animation workflows, animation mechanics and gestures, as well as non-verbal communication. So non-verbal communication is all about kind of expression and how you can communicate with someone, like, you know, surprise, shock, whatever it might be. And then later on, you end up doing a bit of creature animation as well. Visual effects compositing is 5 weeks of 2D compositing. So this is where you learn all about kind of like pulling in assets, putting them together. You learn how to deal with 3D compositing, working with assets, utilizing all that stuff, and then working through some more advanced techniques as well. In the third year, you end up doing production. So team production 1 is what's cool and unique about Media Design School is we have a resident director that comes in and works with the faculty and external people, industry professionals like real life camera operators, director of photographies, all that sort of stuff. So you end up with a pretty unique piece of work that becomes a credit on your portfolio. So lots of other schools will send you out into an internship. What we do is we keep you together and we get you to work on a real life project. All of these go off. In fact, some of the team production projects have gone off to win at like San Diego Comic-Con, a whole raft of different places, which is really exciting because these are peer reviewed by the industry. So pretty unique way of doing things. A lot of this industry is people would be like, wow, you've got everything, but I just don't know if you'll be any good in a production. Whereas here you've been tested, right? So our goal is to produce industry-ready graduates from a studio-styled educational environment. We're here for you guys. We work really hard to simulate the workplace. So you guys end up studying in year 1s and 2s. In year 1 and 2, you engage in problem solving. So teams are directed by faculty in a real-world production environment. You fail fast and learn quickly. In the classroom, we use the industry-led tools to drive this. In fact, we're just talking more about Houdini, using Houdini to in the pipeline quicker. Houdini's a software package that a lot more industries going towards. We use Maya as our 3D software. So Maya is generally the thing that we use, mainly because it's a really robust tool. It's been tried and tested, and it's very customizable is why. So I'd love to know how many people have used Maya before. Has anyone used Maya before? Or how many people have used Blender before? I know that some of you might have used both or not. Yep, so you used Maya, cool. So yeah, Maya's typically the program we'll use. We'll use Substance and ZBrush, so Substance Painter for texturing. We're an Adobe accredited provider, so what's the official title, Dan?
Official title is we're actually the first and only Adobe Creative Campus in New Zealand. So very exciting stuff, and it comes with a massive wealth of opportunities and tutorials for the students. I've actually popped a link
Yeah,
in the
cool.
chat
Thank
for some
you.
light reading after the session.
Yeah, so part of being a recognized Adobe Creative Campus, it means that obviously you guys get the Adobe Suite for free. You're able to kind of utilize all those tools, but as Dan said, also all the resources on all the key learnings. One thing I love is depending on your drive and how much you want to know, I've never seen a teacher say, "Hey, slow down, stop learning," right? So if you yep, that's right. If you come in and apply yourself and do saturate yourself with the knowledge, you'll do really well. Dan's also said that we're the only the Oh, we're not the only one, but Houdini certified school we are in New Zealand, and Houdini is a really important one to us because of the industry and how much they are using it. So we are the process of becoming a Houdini certified school is we have to have the students submit to me. I create a show reel that just shows the student work, and then that gets put across a board of international judges who are all industry professionals, and they've deemed us as the people that that should you should come to learn Houdini stuff. Um, Students are surrounded by the industry, but not like an internship, as I said before. So we also look and are always aware of the technology around. We've done virtual productions where we've had, like on Mandalorian, we've got a volume and all that's backlit and environments pumped back onto the characters. So you don't necessarily have to do that key, the green screen key that you normally would, and you get the lighting information through the graphics that are being projected on. Now this is cool. A few tools and techniques needed to you end up speeding up the process in one way, but it creates more problems in another way. So our students are always ready. One of the key things that we like to do and say is that we create lifelong learners. We create these learners that really are able to come into a problem and problem solve it. In fact, a while back we had our first virtual production, and we almost didn't have the virtual production. Some bright spark had moved the computer away, and they just put in another computer, and it just wasn't working correctly. They were baffled and almost told the students to leave, and one of our students went in and fixed it and was able to save the day. So, again, lifelong learners, problem solvers, and people that really just are able to do quite well, right? In the third year, oh, sorry, it was 12 weeks. So in the third year, team production one, which I'll see if I can find one for you, is a 12-week lecture directed. So live action and CGI integration. Big team experience, so lots of kind of fail fast problem solving that's led by the tutor. And then here's a few of the titles. If you do want to see any of this, I'm sure Dan will be happy to chuck the link of our YouTube channel up for you. But a few cool different ones. We also do individual research project. So this is where you do a project, you create an artifact, and then research is really important paired with all this. Now, it doesn't seem like it seems like real academic, but when you get told, hey, can you create a lion with realistic fur for the latest Lion King 2, Mufasa, in cinemas? No, it's kidding. Then you're going to have to that tool might not exist. You have to figure out the ways that dynamics works, like the real world ways, and code something or whatever. And that needs research, and that research needs to be documented properly so you leave breadcrumbs for someone else later on down the track. Yeah. Yeah, our student films are award-winning films. So you can go to the Media Design School YouTube channel, and there are short film playlists up there, as well as a few different bits and pieces. Yep. So you'll see this one's fantastic. This is my production that I'd worked on. I'm slightly fishy back in the day. But yeah, there's a whole raft more that we've got now, which is really cool. So winning short films is a great thing because you guys gain experience working in teams in a production pipeline, directed by supervisors. So we help you to get back on track if you need, or bounce ideas off of you. You guys engage in advanced problem solving, which is quite cool. And then at the end of it, we hire out a big cinema, put those films on the big screen. I do a few stupid dad jokes, and everyone tells me to go away and just let's put on the movies, right? So bit of popcorn, watching your names come up on the silver screen is very special. And I don't tend to get teary, but definitely when I saw all those students that have been there for 3 years, 4 years, some people even 5, depending on their situation, and whatever, and actually seeing them put their heart and soul into something that's just so beautiful was just really cool. After graduation, you guys get credited in the short films. You'll leave with a real world production experience. Employees really prefer production experience when recruiting. They say, what did you work on last? So this way is a great way. Our students do really well. This is an old metric, however, it stayed very similar. In March 2022, we had 75% response rate, and 88% of the group are employed in industry related roles. That hasn't changed too much, and is still as high, if not higher. So here are some names. Hopefully you can read that, and it'll be interesting to see if you recognize anyone. I know that Rising Sun Pictures, they worked on just recently Fall Guy. We've got Build Media, who's now someone else, but that's fine. Frame Store, MPC, Imagine Engine, Animal Logic, Blockhead. All of these are companies, production houses that work on the big things like Rings of Power, Wicked, all of that sort of stuff, PRP, VFX, all that sort of stuff. Weta, obviously, we've seen that one. Yeah. So our students go into these companies, which is pretty cool. And ILM, Star Wars, all that sort of stuff, Frame Store, Luma Pictures, MPC, Maleficent, all that stuff. So pretty cool. Now, recently we had our students, some of our students work on Rings of Power. We had 10 out of 14 of the team comprised of MDS graduates. And we had Greg Flanagan from Cause and Effects sort of do a shout out. We're very cozy and comfortable with Greg and Cause and Effects, and he really made sure that he pushed how amazing this is. So huge number of crew, Media Design School, amazing to see our graduates. Yeah, really cool. And this is the goal. This is a funny screen grab, but this shows the cast, right? So coming to Media Design School and working on these films, learning your way up to working on these films is really one of the things that we love to do, love to see you do. And yeah, I just play down this this behind the scenes of one of the films that we created a while back. There we go. So summary, we get a studio approach to learning, learning with industry professionals, more emphasis on teaching the process as opposed to the tools. All our faculty are industry professionals themselves that have decided to pass on, do a Yoda, pass on what you have learned. More emphasis on teaching process, learning what it takes to achieve quality, working on large supervised production, and applying our knowledge on small team productions. Awesome. So that's it from me in regards to what I have to share and show you. Do you guys have any lovely questions?
Yeah. Any questions for Arian? Pop them in the chat. I've also just linked through to our apply now form. So yeah, one announcement is December 10th is your deadline for getting your application reviewed before our Christmas shutdown. Oh, Deepak, we've got a question
I
there.
will allow to talk.
Hey, mate. Oh, there we go.
You can either talk or you can write the question. Your mic is ready to go if you did want to talk. Just have to unmute. Or you can write. That's fine too. They permitted you to talk.
Hey, Deepak, can you hear us? Are you able to unmute and tell us your story?
Anyone else have any other questions in mind? I mean, it's heaps of fun. It's heaps of hard work as well. You need to be observant. You need to be able to kind of apply yourself as well. It's not a free ride, but you are going to have fun creating different things. Yeah, we have a lot of students that that really just love and find the process pretty amazing, which is cool. What are the portfolio requirements? Great ask, great question. So effectively on my part, I'm the one who does scroll through and go through the beautiful artwork that you guys have. So I'm not necessarily looking for the best Weta ready work. What I'm after is your ability to show creative intent, and the ability to show your creative designs and ideas. I love seeing people with a lot of variety. So if you've done a little bit of art boards at school, you've done some photography, you've messed around on the iPhone or iPad and kind of cut together something, that's the kind of fun, funky stuff that I like to see. I do like to see 3D stuff, or at least not just hand drawing stuff. I'd love to see more like digital artwork as well. But if you're into clay modeling, that's fine. If you're into anything to do with creative arts, I sing. I might even put a image, a video clip of me singing. Who knows? The more you have to show you and your passion and drive, that's what we're after. Is that so is the Maya applications included in tuition? Yeah, so Maya, we're also able to get student versions of Maya, which are renewed after every year, which is a given. So yes, we every software we allow you to have access to for the most part. Nuke's a little funny, but we do have some licenses there, and there's some trials and stuff. There is a PLE version, a personal learning edition, and also the one that we don't currently supply is ZBrush. But because because of our Houdini licenses, we do have Houdini as well as we go through. So ZBrush is really the only one that's a little funny, but there's ways around that. Yeah. Is it possible to attend the program as an online student? Absolutely. So the way that the day works is, or the week works, is you'll do 2 days on sorry, depending on where you sit in the semester, but typically you'll do 1 day online for everyone and the rest of the days in campus. If you are an online student, you just join in with your current on-campus students. The timings of the online class is always the afternoon class. So that's the B class, which is 1:30 till 5:30. There's two classes. There's a morning class and an afternoon class. The afternoon class is a combination of online and in person, and we supply the resources there. The other one is on in the morning, 8:30 till 12:30. Yeah. Any other questions? Hopefully that answered your question. Cool. Perfect. Awesome. Well, that's all I really have for you guys. Yeah. Oh, another question regarding
Cool.
AI. Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to wait for you to write the question, or I can kind of see where you're going. Yes, we totally encourage use of AI where appropriate. AI has a time and a place in the world. I'm actually running through right now some of the not so nice aspects of the education system, where some people have tried to push the limits of AI and get it to write their written assessments and do the references, and it's come up with fake references, right? So it's always important that you go through the processes that we show you and teach you. After all, you put in the mahi, you put in the work, and you'll get out the results. If you find ways of bypassing that without understanding what you're trying to do, chances are you're going to get figured out, right? I know in our industry, they are highly aware and working through AI tools, things like compositing and green screen keying and stuff like that are definitely going to be affected by AI, but there's always jobs out there. I've still yet to see a perfect AI model that will take over our jobs. I just don't think it's going to happen. We always need to be the ones driving, in my opinion. But yeah. Yeah, cool. Thanks, Daniel. I'm a heavy user of AI. I absolutely love it. I've found my ways of making it work for me. But there's a time and a place. Yeah. Cool, Dan. I think that's us then.
Amazing. Thanks for coming along, guys. Thanks, Arian. Wonderful chat as always. Yeah, don't hesitate to reach out to us, eh? Open day, if you do want to come visit us on campus, January 15th. I've also popped in a link to my Calendly. Yeah, so you can book a campus tour. Get in touch. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Thanks,
Catch you
guys.
later. See you guys.
See ya. Bye.